Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Britney Womack 767-468.
All right, Brittany, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Mr. Tony Marabella and Mr. Pete Freeman will be your panel. Have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement, we'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir, I do.
Britney Womack DOC number 767-468. You're a first class offender. Parole eligibility date 7/2/2023. Not eligible for good time. Full term 11/2/2024. 2-year sentence. Carnal knowledge with juvenile. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
You were revoked on March 14, 2023. Please answer, Mr. Marabella.
Good morning, Ms. Womack. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 33.
And how long have you been in prison on these charges? You were revoked in March, but how long have you been in?
Altogether, I've done 10 months on this charge.
I'm sorry?
Altogether, I've done 10 months.
10 months, okay, thank you. Tell me a little bit about your educational background. How far did you go in school?
11th grade.
Did you ever get your GED?
No.
You ever tried?
I'm on the waiting list here. Yeah, so
Let's talk a little bit about your drug use. When did you start using drugs?
I started using drugs 6 years ago, and it was a massive impact on my life. It changed a lot.
Let's slow down. Let's talk specifically about your drugs. 6 years ago, why did you start using drugs at, what were you, 26, 27?
Yes, sir.
Why did you start using drugs at that age?
I started using drugs. I met my child's father. He was a drug addict. I was curious and I started using drugs with him, and ever since then I've been wanting to get clean.
What did you start using?
Meth.
And how often were you using meth?
Every day.
Have you ever had any treatment on the outside?
Yes, sir, I have. When I get out of here, I plan on doing IOP.
No, not when you get out, before you came in. Have you ever had any treatment on the outside?
Yes, sir.
What kind of treatment?
A 30-day rehab.
And when was that?
That was last September.
Now, you have actually two charges. You had two charges. You had drug charges and then you had the carnal knowledge charge. Let's talk a little bit about the carnal knowledge charge. Who was this young 14-year-old boy? What relationship to you was he?
He was one of my daughter's friends' boyfriends. One of my daughter's friends.
Your daughter's friends. So how old were you when you started this relationship?
It happened one time, and it was, I caught the charge about 3 years ago. About 2 years ago, 21.
So how is it that you started a relationship at, 30 years old with a 14-year-old boy?
I was on drugs. It was a one-time thing. I regret it every day. I made a bad choice. I made a bad decision.
There's some indication in the file that you had suggested at one point that you were pregnant from him. Is that a fact, or is that, do you remember even saying that?
No, I didn't. I don't recall saying. I have my tubes tied. I can't get pregnant.
Okay, well, there was some discussion back and forth on Facebook or something where you said that. Is that true or not true?
That's not true.
So significantly is your drug use, is that right?
Yes.
Now, you never really were sent to jail on either of these charges. You were given probation on both charges.
I did 18 months on my drug charge.
You did do 18 months on your drug charge?
Yes. I got out on parole.
Did you take any programs while you were in prison on your drug charge?
I wasn't offered any because I did my time in the city, in the parish.
I
They
got you.
have classes.
Uh,
I'm in Miss Haley's I'm in a substance abuse class now.
Okay, now let me finish my questions and then you can talk. Okay, I know you're anxious to tell us about what you're doing, and that's okay. All right.
Okay.
You got revoked because basically you absconded. Why? Why did you keep running away? Why did you keep not reporting to your parole officer?
Bottom line, I had a drug problem. I'd get high and I wouldn't want to go see her. It's all because of drugs. And that's just, that's my most honest answer I can give you is
Now
my,
you have 3 children, is that right?
yes, I do,
Where are your children?
with my mother.
How old are your children?
I have a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Same father?
Yes,
Now you said he was a drug addict?
yes.
Is he still a drug addict? I mean, is he still on drugs or where is he now?
He's doing time right now himself.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the program that you're doing. You're in the MAC program now?
Yes, sir, I am. And I plan on taking the Vivitrol shot when I get out.
Okay, now, my records reflect that you started that on August the 7th. Is that true? You started before that?
It sounds about right, yes.
And tell me about the program so far. Tell me what you've done so far with the program.
Miss Haley, she's given me the tools to get back into society, to be able to use when I get out. I found myself in that program. I feel like I have a good shot. She taught me about the Vivitrol shot. I didn't know about that Vivitrol shot beforehand. So I'm definitely going to take that. I'm going to get a sponsor, go to meetings, get accountability team going. I see a good future and I have hope.
Have you ever gone to AA meetings before?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I really didn't know about, like I said, I didn't know that I didn't have the tools before I did Miss Haley's class. I didn't really know much about the AA program and what was all offered until now.
May I speak to your program director?
Yes, yes, sir.
Hi. Tell me a little bit about the MAC program that she's in now and how long a program is it? Because I think she needs a pretty long-term program. So tell me what she's in and how long that program would be.
I think she's been in there about a month.
Right. I show August the 7th as the date she started.
Okay, so it's anywhere, it doesn't start or end, it's an ongoing group. It's a therapeutic group and we offer all different kind of programs for recovery and kind of introduce it to them. We also have workbooks that they work on, but 3 months is the short term, 6 months is the long term.
Okay.
And then, you know, when they get out, we continue to work with them, like through peer support. I try to get them in, a lot of them, I send them to sober living houses, but, her situation is a little different, but, yeah, the program.
How is that situation a little different?
Sorry.
Why do you say her situation's a little different? Because of the children or what?
Yeah, because of her
Where
charges.
she would live, the requirement that she have to register as a sex offender?
Right.
But when she leaves the program, you would give her basically an aftercare program to follow up on and such?
Yeah, I get them set up with like mental health, IOP if they need it. I connect them in the community wherever they're going to whatever they got to offer there. And their shot, of course, to keep going.
Is she taking the Vivitrol shot now, or is that something in the future?
We don't, this prison doesn't allow it until the day they leave to get it.
I got you.
Or they can get the naltrexone, the pill, 3 months before their release date.
Good. And where would you be living at, Ms. Womack? Would you go to a sober living facility if we could find one for you? Because you've got to, you know, there's certain places you can't live as a sex offender. Where would you hopefully be living?
Well, I had planned to live with my father, but to get on my feet and to get a job. But if y'all suggest a sober living house, I'm up for any kind of positive thing. I wouldn't be opposed to living in a sober living. I had made plans to live with my father to get on my feet. He would take me back and forth to work, take me back and forth to meetings. But I wouldn't just say no to a sober living. I'm ready to get out and prove a point and to use my tools to society and become a productive citizen in today's world. So I'm up for anything.
And you intend on taking the Vivitrol shot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, that's all.
All right, would you like to make a brief comment on your behalf?
Yes, sir. I want to start out by saying I'm sorry to the victim and family, and I'm sorry to my family as well. I, Britney Womack, want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be considered for early parole. Believe it or not, I'm grateful for the months that I have been incarcerated because it has given me the chance to see and realize how my poor choices have led me down to the road to destruction and how it affected my family. I admit that I abandoned my children, and I'm not okay with that. If given the opportunity to be released on early parole, I would like for one of my parole stipulations to be that I check into an outpatient drug program because I fully recognize that I need help with my addiction and I can't do it alone. My plans upon release are to follow up with the Vivitrol shot, get a job, become a productive citizen, and to be a positive role model and parent to my young children while keeping God first in any and everything that I do. I refuse to be another statistic by making prison a revolving door. And to do this, I know I need to make changes in my life, and that change starts with me. So again, I thank you for the opportunity to start over. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Marabella.
Okay. Ms. Womack, it looks like most of your problems, most of your legal problems have been caused by drugs. It's something that you've been pretty honest about today. My vote today is going to be grant conditionally upon your completing the long-term MAT program that you are currently in. And then once you finish that program, to follow all of their recommendations, which would include the sober living facility. And if for some reason they can't find an approved sober living facility, if they approve where you suggest your secondary place would be your father, then that would be sufficient as well. And then to follow all of their recommendations, which will include at least 3 AA meetings per week, a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., and reporting to your parole officer at least once weekly for the first 90 days.
Yes, sir.
I'm just one, so good luck to you.
Mr. Freeman.
I concur.
All right, 2 votes to grant. I'm also going to vote to grant your parole after you've completed the long-term MAT program that you're currently in. You need to definitely complete that. You'll be released and you'll have a report to your PO weekly for the first 90 days. You'll have go to a sober living facility. You will have NAA 3 times a week. You will have curfew 9 p to 6 a, and you'll follow up with the Vivitrol medical treatment. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
3 votes granted. Both been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll adjourn LTCW 10:38. Thank you.